For our next story, we shift focus to Central Africa, where the United States is taking on China for dominance over the critical mineral-rich region. The US International Development Finance Corporation, or DFC, has just signed off on a $553 million loan. This for the refurbishment of a key Angolan railway line. The rail link runs between the Lobito port on the Atlantic coast to the border with the mineral-rich Democratic Republic of Congo. Another key aspect of this development is the construction of more than 800 kilometres of new railway. Rail lines in Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo will connect to the existing Benguela line in Angola. The high-profile US-backed Lobito Corridor will connect copper and cobalt mines to the Atlantic coast. It is part of Washington's push to secure access to strategic and in-demand minerals.
Central Africa is rich in key resources essential to U.S. industries, including minerals critical for technology and defense.
And DFC also highlighted a growing presence from China in the region.
DFC's investments help secure reliable supply chains and prevent monopolization by China and other strategic competitors.
And these comments come just a month after China revealed a $1.4 billion investment in the rival Tanzania-Zimbabwe railway. The Tazara railway investment is set to drastically increase the volume of critical minerals to Tanzanian ports and the Indian Ocean. Back to the Lobito Corridor project. The US investment is also backed by a consortium with a further $200 million contributed by the Development Bank of Southern Africa. Aside from the railway development, this US-backed investment will see the rehabilitation of existing mineral ports in Lobito. It is set to boost transportation capacity tenfold to 4.6 million metric tons. It could also cut the cost of transporting these critical minerals by up to 30%. The Lobito Corridor is set to cut transport time from 45 days by road to just 40 or 50 hours. Now, this US commitment brings a broader discussion point to the fore, and it goes beyond just critical minerals. African nations have been shifting focus towards China, Russia and India for cooperation. Whether it's defence or development, Africa has been turning its back on the West. The post-colonial hangover with European powerhouses is evident, but Africa is a continent of huge possibility, and the US is fully aware of that. Trump recently signed mineral deals with Rwanda and the DRC as part of his peace efforts. Even Donald Trump's predecessor, Joe Biden, was involved in the Lobito project. And US-Africa relations will be a political focal point long after Trump has ended his second term. Africa could become home to a tug-of-war for regional dominance between the world's two largest economies.
I was born into privilege, but I sold myself as the voice of the poor. I led a revolution in the mountains and marched into Havana as a hero. I promised freedom, equality, dignity. What I built was a one-party state. I survived invasions, embargoes, and enemies, but my people survived shortages in silence. Some called me El Comandante. History calls me something else. A dictator. Who am I?